Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Jade, and today's video is a springtime copper look that works for pale skin, because a lot of light coppery looks tend to wash out pale skin, so this look does not do that. It is a little different than your typical kind of springy coppery look, but I am obsessed with this look. I love this look for springtime, and again, it works great for pale skin, but of course, if you have a darker skin tone, you can of course wear this as well. So please be sure to like and subscribe before you leave, and be sure to hit that post notification bell to get notified every single time that I upload. And if you would like to see this spring coppery look for pale skin, then keep on watching. Starting off with face today, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Hangover RX Primer. As you guys know, if you watch any of my videos, this is one of my favorite primers ever. So I'm going to be starting off with this today. Alright, so then for foundation today, I'm going to be using the Merle Norman CC Cream, and it does have an SPF 30 in it, but I've never noticed to have any flashback with it. But I love this CC cream for like spring and summer because it's very lightweight. So I love this. This is what we're going to be using for foundation today. And I'm using my Morphe sponge. I think this is the Flawless Complexion sponge. Maybe. Also, I have the shade Light Ivory. It doesn't come in a whole lot of shades, and I have the lightest one, which when I am at my fairest, it's actually still too dark. So keep that in mind. For concealer today, I'm going to use the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. And I'm just going to use that same sponge to blend this out. Now to set my under eyes, I'm going to use the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder. Now for powder, I'm using the Merle Norman Ultra Powder Foundation. Now for bronzer, I'm going to use the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer with my Morphe JH02 brush. For blush, I'm using the Tarte blush in the shade Seduce with my Morphe JH04. Now for highlight, I'm going to be using Ofra, Rodeo Drive, and Pillow Talk on my Morphe JH09. And I'm dipping into Rodeo Drive first and then Pillow Talk, so it's a little bit lighter. For the eyes, I'm going to be starting off with the Jaclyn Hill Morphe Ring the Alarm palette, and I'm going to take this shade right here, which is the shade Rush, on my Morphe M441. And we're going to start this in the upper crease to work as our transition shade. Now this is just a little bit darker than I would typically go for a transition shade on myself, but it blends out like a dream, so I'm going to do it. And I'm just starting off with windshield wiper motions, and then I go in with circular motions to further blend this out in the crease. The windshield wiper motions kind of disperses it all over the place, and then when you go in with circular motions, it's a little bit more centrally located. So you're kind of buffing it out where it's at versus moving it around too much. So I like to use both methods to get that perfect blend. Now taking the Armed and Gorgeous palette from Jaclyn Hill and Morphe, and I'm going to take the shade Agent, which is this one right here. I'm in Morphe M433. And we're not going on the outer corner or anything, just sticking it directly into the crease. So right where you feel that socket of the eye is where we're going to place it. And I use windshield wiper motions to initially apply it, just because you can really feel where that crease of the eye is when you do this. And then I kind of turn the brush sideways like this to start using windshield wiper motions to blend upwards. And then I will go in with circular motions to just further blend this out. Okay, now back into the Ring the Alarm palette, I'm going to take this shade right here, which is the shade Mugshot, and that same Morphe M433, and we're just going to lightly deepen up the crease a little bit. So I'm doing the exact same pattern that I did with the Agent shade that I just used, but now just deepening it up. And then I'm just kind of wiping off the brush so I don't have any excess product before I go in with circular motions to make sure that nothing gets blended up too high. Alright, then just grabbing my M441 that I used with that first color, and I'm just going to buff over and make sure everything is nice and blended and that there are no harsh lines. So when I do this, I use a very light hand. I keep my hand at the end of the brush and just ever so lightly dust over the top of the shadows to make sure that everything is nice and blended, nice and seamlessly. So now we're going to take the shade Boom. This is still the Ring the Alarm palette, so I'm going to take this one, and I am going to spritz my brush with MAC Fix Plus, and I'm going to be using the MAC 242 brush. So I apply it on the brush first, and then spritz my brush, and that helps so that you don't ruin your eyeshadow. But these shimmers, I personally think that they don't apply the best on their own. I think they apply better with some Fix Plus. And it just helps to make it more metallic. So I'm just putting this all over the lid. And I kind of use tapping motions through the crease where it kind of connects to that matte. Just like that. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Okay, so now just wiping off that brush, and now what I'm going to do to make this more wearable for pale skin is I'm going to add a little bit of a pinky gold color on top of it so that it keeps the copper underneath, so copper is still shining through, but it's not overly copper that it washes you out since being pale. So I'm going to take the shade Lolly and the Ring the Alarm palette, which is this one right here. I just wiped off that brush, and I'm still going to spritz my brush with Fix Plus. So I'm going to put the shadow on the brush and then spritz a little bit of Fix Plus on it. And we're just going to apply this all over top of that Boom shade. And I'm kind of patting it for this one so that we don't disturb anything that's underneath. So now I'm going to take that M433 that I was using with no additional product and just kind of lightly buff in the crease to make sure that those shimmers blend into those mattes really well. Just like that. Alright, so now I'm going to take my Morphe JH39 brush, and using the Armed and Gorgeous palette, I'm going to take the shade Agent, and I'm going to put this all along the lower lash line, all the way from outer corner all the way to inner corner. and then using that same brush, I'm going to take the Ring the Alarm palette and use the shade Mugshot and do the exact same thing. So this is going all the way from outer corner all the way to inner corner. So now I'm going to take the MAC Eye Kohl in the shade Costa Riche, and I'm going to put this all in my waterline. So if you just kind of lightly tug down here, that kind of flips that waterline out and makes it easy to apply right in here. Oh no, I smudged it. I like smudged it with the cap, so make sure I don't have it on my fingers. Okay, so then I'm going to take that JH39 brush that I was using and just kind of lightly buff that out. So I picked up no additional product. We're just lightly buffing out what is there. And I got a little willy-nilly right there, as you can see, so I'm going to just take that M433 and just kind of lightly buff over that to kind of smudge that out. I did fill in my eyebrows off camera. I used the Anastasia Brow Wiz and their clear brow gel to set them in place, and then I applied my L'Oreal Lash Paradise mascara and the Velour It's Show Fluffy lashes as well. So now, last but not least, we just have the lips left to do, and I'm going to be using the Jeffree Star liquid lipstick in the shade Celebrity Skin. Alright you guys, this is the finished makeup look. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you again in my next one. Bye!